Howdy again. Chatcast again. We're continuing to talk about growth-related things here. And this question, pause. I have forgotten already. I've got 2 or 3 of these things rolling around in my head that are similar. Yes. Okay, so we kind of touched on this in the last Chatcast in a way, but is growth a predictable and controllable factor, right? So to kind of reiterate this, to give it a little more potency, because we slightly touched on it in the last one, is that do you feel like you're being pulled by the forces of nature, the powers that be, the spirit of God or the spirit of the earth or stardust,
your zodiac sign,
or your zodiac sign, or Carl Sagan, or onion rings, whatever's either spiritual experience you had with pizza, whatever that is that's pulling you, right? Is your growth a slave to that, or is it something that you feel like you can push? And so now I'm going to tell you, in the worst possible answer for this is that for me it's a mix of both. Because there's been times when I have very much calculated the area that I'm going to grow toward and the area I'm going to grow in and how that's going to be with a written plan. I do really well like that, even though I resist it. I do really well writing with a pencil in a notebook a plan. I don't know why. I do really well. I have to do it at work sometimes. When I feel overwhelmed at work, what immediately snaps me back into action is writing out everything I need to do in order of more immediate to least immediate. And then it just helps me. And I resist it every time. And like a parent, I gotta parent myself. By the way, I think that's one of the valuable things about actually having kids. Not to say that you should just have kids for the sake of this. You should never have kids.
I'm kind of stuck on this project.
Better have a kid. No, but it's to understand that you have to parent yourself, okay? But as a parent, I can tell you that. Get used to trying to parent yourself. You got to treat yourself like a kid sometimes. So I make myself do this. And so I've done that with my growth. And then sometimes I've grown in huge ways, completely undesigned, and just an act of the spirit, right? Just moving and then following where it takes you. And sometimes it comes through a person or an event or a concert. A lot of times I get inspired after I see a band I really like live and they exceed my expectations. And then I have this vision in my head of what I could do in that kind of an environment when right? And then this neat growth occurs and I start to do these things that I didn't do and hear these sounds that I didn't normally hear. And sometimes, like I said, it's real calculated. Like, okay, I'm going to learn how to use compression on a bass instrument, specifically a bass guitar today, and it's very calculated and very precise and everything like that. So as I'm wrapping this up to toss it into your court, what I'm noticing by unpacking this sloppily in my mind right now, raw for the internet, is that depending on what part of me needs to grow, all right, is it in a very raw, mechanical way, then it's probably started controlled. If it's in more of a raw, expressive, artistic, letting it loose kind of way, for me at least, it is more, spirit-led, ethereal, metaphysical. And so that leads me to what I said. For me, it's a mix. What do you think?
I think for me it's a mix too, but it's a very codependent relationship of practical skills and emotional energy. So I don't know, this is a terrible metaphor that I'm gonna make up right now, but think about it like you're on a road trip to growth, okay? Your driver should be your practical skills. He's the one that's got the foot on the gas pedal and he's steering. Your navigator in the passenger seat, controlling the radio and having a good time, keeping you conversated, is your emotions. Because the thing is he's gonna die down after a little bit, but your practical skills are still gonna be able to drive. And if you let emotions drive, he's gonna want to pull over a rest stop and recharge. So for me, that's such a weird metaphor.
It works.
Like it does, but I don't know. But
it could be better, but it works right now. It's not the worst.
I'm trying to use it as a way to explain how I think about this. So basically, motivation is a good thing for me. I think so I see something that I really like. I see a painting that just like moves me, or like I see or hear music that makes me want to do something or try something, or just anything out of the ordinary that catches my attention, that makes me excited to do. If I rely on that emotion, like it will get me in the door where I'm like, okay, I bought the supplies I needed. I immediately put them in my Amazon cart. I have set aside the day or the time or whatever that I know that I have that I can devote to this. And I know how excited I am, and I have all these ideas of what I want to do. But if I rely on that emotion, at some point, it's going to die down.
You run out of granola bars. Yeah. You run out of trail mix.
Yeah, you run out of trail mix. Because emotion is like that fast twitch muscle fiber that is really explosive, but it dies after a little bit because it runs out of steam. Whereas your slow twitch muscle fiber of like practical skills is going to be that discipline that you build to be like, okay, I have the emotion. I'm going to sit down at this time and I'm going to do it. I'm going to block out this time for it. And then you sit down, and then once it starts getting hard and your emotions like, maybe whatever, I guess I can't do this immediately off the first try with no practice. If I'm not naturally good at it, why try?
Yeah.
That kind of emotion. Once that starts sinking in, then you switch to your driver. Then you switch to my practical skills of, okay, no, like I'm gonna keep going because I can always erase. I can always, maybe this is just going to be a study, and maybe it's going to be something that I learn from and can move on and do it again. Time is really like the thing that I think kills my emotions the most, is like I assume I'm gonna sit down and knock it out in 5 minutes, whereas my practical skills has that patience to keep going and to keep your feet moving and stuff like that. And so that's where I think the relationship of like growth is spurred on by emotion, but the thing that drives you home to the goal is your practical skills and the discipline that you build. So it's emotions and discipline in a codependent relationship, because my discipline isn't going to want to do it, but my emotions aren't going to want to finish it.
I like that, and he accidentally described the dynamic of our brand. So with that, he loves that because he knows it's true. And so with that, we're going to tie a bow on this discussion. And again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, world building on Monday. Wednesday is this random vlog where it's usually just me doing something last minute by myself right now. Well, we got to figure it out. We've had a lot of different ideas for this, and we're just going to flesh it out. We're still just trying to game the YouTube algorithm with the 3-day-a-week uploads. Hey, at least I'm transparent. And until next time, until that next Friday, peace.